Hello and welcome to the hidden world of microorganisms. Today I would like to talk about cells. All living things are made of cells, except viruses. Some are made out of trillions of cells, like elephants and whales, while others are made of just one cell. Yes, most microorganisms are made of just one cell, and therefore they are defined as unicellular, while the other organisms that are made of two or more cells are called multicellulars. Plants, animals, so most of fungi are multicellular, while bacteria, archaea, some fungi, and protists are unicellular. So what is a cell then? In multicellular organisms, you can imagine the cell as a brick. Bricks are put together to make up rooms, each one with its own function, like the kitchen or the bedroom. All the rooms together form a house. Houses can look very different from the outside, but they all have the same basics, such as the door, the floor, the ceiling, and the different rooms, each one with its own function. In multicellular organisms, it's a bit the same thing with cells. Some cells work together to perform the same function. In this case, these kind of cells are called tissues. Different types of tissues are combined then together to work as an organ. Examples of organ in animals would be the stomach or the liver or the heart, while in plants that would be the stem, the flowers, the leaves, etc. So cells work together performing the same function in tissues. Tissues combined together make up organs, and all together the organs and tissues form the body of the organisms. Although we might look very different from the outside, between species or even within the same species, inside we are all made from the same things. Except that there are two very different kinds of cells, and all of the organisms on Earth have been classified into two huge groups following which type of cells they have. One of the groups is called Prokaryotes, and the other one is called Eukaryotes. Prokaryotes include archaea and bacteria, which are both unicellular, while eukaryotes include animals and plants that are multicellular, protists that are unicellular, and fungi that can be, depending on the species, they can be multicellular or unicellular. So what is this big difference between prokaryotes and eukaryotes cells? Simply put, prokaryote cells are much simpler than eukaryote cells, but to really understand the differences between them, we have to zoom in into a cell and look how it is made. The one thing that is in all cells, and that I am sure you have already heard about, is DNA. DNA contains all the information that is needed to create the organism to which that cell belongs. The other thing all cells have are ribosomes. Ribosomes are responsible for transforming the information that is coded in the DNA into the reactions needed to actually create the organism to which the cell belongs. In prokaryote, that's about it. DNA and ribosome are suspended in a gel-like substance called cytoplasm, and cytoplasm is surrounded by a membrane to protect it and a second layer called cell wall that gives them shape. In eukaryotes, things get more complex. For a starter, the DNA is not just suspended in the cytoplasm, instead it is nicely folded inside a protective membrane in what is called the nucleus. Other structures in the eukaryotic cells are responsible for transforming oxygen and sugar into energy, water and carbon dioxide, that's respiration, and it is carried out inside mitochondria. Or else transforming water, energy and carbon dioxide into oxygen and sugar, that's photosynthesis, and it is carried out inside chloroplasts, only in photosynthetic organisms, of course. And then there are plenty of other structures responsible for building proteins, for storing fat, for destroying waste products, and many other things. Cells are constantly working in a continuous traffic of gas exchange, usually oxygen and carbon dioxide, nutrients and vitamin metabolism, information transmission. If you think about it, it is really impressive how many things are happening simultaneously right now inside my body and yours. For me to be able to be here talking to you and you be listening. Or for the trees outside to start producing leaves when the rice season comes, or then transform them into flowers or fruits. So that was what's happening inside multicellular organisms, but what happens to unicellular where there is just one cell? As with their size, their needs are much smaller. They don't have needs to transport oxygen and nutrients and vitamins around in the body through organs and tissues. All that they need in terms of nutrients and vitamins and gases to breathe passes through the membrane inside the cell and it is used, and what they don't need, it is then released back into the environment. We will have time in another episode to go deeply into the functioning of a unicellular body. This is it for today. I hope you enjoyed learning about cells and that you will continue following me in this journey of amazement and discovery. Bye now!